Hello there, Homeschool Nolan here to help you navigate learning in the digital age. Today I'd like to talk to you about quantum physics and why you should consider studying this challenging and fascinating subject. Now, before you laugh at me and dismiss quantum physics as too advanced, I too once thought that quantum physics only belongs in an advanced college or graduate level course. But then one day, I saw this book at the bookstore, Quantum Physics for Babies. So if babies can learn it, so can you. I put a link to the book in the notes below. But in all seriousness, I have discovered that even if you're only able to scratch the surface at a very high level, I think you will find quantum physics to be both interesting and fascinating subject. And I'd like to share some thoughts with you on why you should definitely consider studying quantum physics. But first, let me share with you how I got into quantum physics during this past year. Quantum physics is also oftentimes referred to as quantum mechanics. It's the study of very small particles at the subatomic level. The behavior of these particles, such as electrons, don't always obey the laws of classical physics as laid down by Isaac Newton over 300 years ago. I was first introduced to quantum mechanics during my freshman year in college. I remember being intrigued by the counterintuitive and sometimes weird concepts of quantum physics. For example, there is a Heisenberg uncertainty principle which states that it is impossible to know exactly both how fast a particle is moving and where it is at the same time. And there is also Schrodinger's famous thought experiment of a cat in a box, where a cat is placed in a box and poison gas is released. While the cat is inside the box, the cat is in a superposition state of being both alive and dead at the same time. But as soon as you open the box, the cat is definitely alive or dead. If that sounds a bit weird or doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. That's the essence of quantum physics. In fact, Albert Einstein was quoted as saying, "No reasonable definition of reality could be expected to permit quantum mechanics." Now, as fascinated as I was with quantum mechanics, I myself quickly realized that if I wanted to get beyond high-level concepts, quantum physics, like physics in general, requires you to be pretty good at mathematics, which I was not. So I didn't try to take any other courses in quantum physics after my freshman year. But then about a year ago, a good friend of mine, who also graduated from Princeton, reached out and asked if I'd be interested in forming a study group to study the subject of quantum computing, which of course is based on quantum physics. At first I was hesitant as I didn't think I would have the time to study such an advanced subject. But his enthusiasm was enough to at least get me interested and get me started. And with books such as these and watching some videos on YouTube, I quickly discovered that there are at least two good reasons why you should consider studying quantum physics, even if you're not a physics major in college. First, studying quantum physics will stretch your mind. What do I mean by that? Perhaps quantum physicist Niels Bohr said it best when he said, "Anyone who isn't shocked by quantum theory hasn't understood it." As I mentioned before, a lot of the postulates of quantum physics are counterintuitive and make no sense when measured against the realities of our everyday experiences. Because of that, studying quantum physics will really force you to think. What I really appreciate about studying this subject is that it has taught me that just because something doesn't make sense, it doesn't mean it's not true. Even if you're like me and can only understand a tiny fraction of quantum physics, I think you will appreciate how trying to study it will really stretch your mind and get you to consider viewing our world and universe in new and different ways. Now, the second reason to learn quantum physics is a little bit more practical, and that is understanding quantum physics is a rare and valuable skill. In my previous video, I talked about the importance of having rare and valuable skills in a world increasingly dominated by automation and globalization. So if you have skills related to quantum physics, you will definitely be rare and valuable. Skills related to quantum physics are rare because it is such a difficult subject. Mastering it requires strong aptitude in science and skills in linear algebra and other advanced mathematics. But if you do have an aptitude and a strong interest for math and science, you should consider studying quantum physics, because skills related to quantum physics will only become increasingly valuable in the next few decades in the digital age. Quantum physics today is already used to make important everyday devices such as computer chips, lasers, and polymers. And quantum computing, which of course is based on quantum physics, is expected to become the next great frontier of computing. So how do you go about studying quantum physics, especially if you're still a homeschooler or enrolled in K-12 school? Well, at the beginning of my video, I showed you the book Quantum Physics for Babies. Obviously, this book teaches at a very high level. But one of the things I've discovered about books ostensibly written for children is that adults can use them as well, either as an introduction or a refresher on sometimes difficult subjects. And when you're ready to move on beyond books for babies, I recommend you simply go on YouTube and search for videos on quantum physics. One of the joys of learning in the digital age is we have platforms like YouTube which provide a rich digital library of educational videos on just about any topic for any age level. Quantum physics is still a difficult subject for me to master, but I've really enjoyed watching numerous videos on the subject, sometimes multiple times. Repetition and commitment is often the key to learning a difficult subject. One of the things I love about homeschooling is that you don't have to stick to a rigid curriculum laid down by the state as to what you should learn and when you learn it. You don't have to wait until graduate school to begin exploring a subject like quantum physics. You are in full control of what you want to learn. And I hope you find learning quantum physics as fascinating as well as challenging as I do. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.